Welcome to my channel. In today's video, I will share my experience in obtaining the PL300 certification, which is officially known as the Microsoft Power BI Data Analyst Associate certification. Having successfully achieved this certification last year, I can definitely guide you through the steps that I followed to prepare for the exam and the processes for taking the exam from home. And most importantly, I will guide you on the key areas that you should prioritize during your preparation. So do watch the entire video to plan for your exam effectively. So let me first share some basic information which you should be aware of for this exam. So typically this exam contains 40 to 60 questions. For example, I got around 54 questions. The question formats there will be like multiple choice related questions, drag and drop, then arranging the sequences in order and case studies, etc. I also remember getting some questions on topics like conditional formatting, row level security, etc., where I had to arrange the sequences in the correct order. One important point I'd like to share is this exam includes a specific section with around 5 to 6 questions where the questions are related to each other. And once you submit your answers in that particular section, you will not be able to review or change them after submitting. So that will be clearly mentioned. But for the remaining questions, you have the flexibility to mark those questions for review and revisit them to make any change before submitting. Regarding this case studies related questions, so this case study scenarios are quite lengthy and it is very important to pay attention to every detail. So it takes some time for this case studies related questions. I faced these questions towards the end of the examination, so which worked absolutely fine because I had some good amount of time left. But if you get this case studies related questions at the very beginning, I recommend not spending too much time on them initially. Instead, you focus on the other questions first and return to the case studies at the end after completing the rest of the exam. And the total duration of the exam is 100 minutes and the passing score is 700 out of 1000. Since I took the exam online from home, I will share the processes that you have to follow in case you are planning to take the exam from home. Now, if you are not sure of like where to begin with, I recommend starting with the Microsoft Learning Portal, which provide a comprehensive collection of training materials and documentation to support your preparation. If you see here, this is the Microsoft Learn portal and I have just filtered for Power BI and there are plenty of trainings available. So if you're planning to start preparing for the certification, I will definitely recommend you to visit this site and go through all the trainings. There are plenty of trainings available and you can definitely leverage these trainings. And not only the training, Microsoft provides so many documentation as well on Power BI. So you can definitely leverage these resources that Microsoft provide. These are extremely helpful. If you come here, so this is again a Microsoft portal, data preparation, model, visualize, manage and secure Power BI. So now for each section, right, you will see what are the topics that you have to focus on. So this is also very helpful. You can see for model data, then for data visualization, what are the different topics that you need to cover. So all these topics are enlisted over here. Let me mention the key topics to focus on based on my experience, including those key areas from which I got multiple questions during the exam, so that you can take a note of the topics and prepare effectively. So the first section is prepare the data, right? So there are again so many things you have to learn. You have to learn that like there are different data sources, how to connect to different data sources. But you need to make sure that you have a very clear understanding on direct query and import, how these two are different from each other, what is dual. Basically, you should be aware of the different types of storage mode. So that is very important. Learn how parameters work in Power BI. So these two are very important apart from like the different type of data source connectivity. Then profile and cleaning the data. So this point is very important. Resolve data import report errors. So what kind of errors you might face, how to fix this. So this is also another important topic to cover. Then transform and load the data. So pivot, unpivot, and transpose data, that is very important one. Then merge and append queries, how these two are different, when to merge, when to append, this is also a very important thing. Again, there are some more features of data transformation which are not mentioned here. For example, extract, fill up and down, then use first row as headers or use headers as first row. These are also very important. So make a note of all these points that I am suggesting so that you can focus on these points. Then comes model the data. So here you have to focus on implement role playing dimension, then create a common date table. These two are very important, very, very important. Then define a relationships, cardinality, and cross filter direction. So make sure that you go through all these topics thoroughly. You should have a very clear understanding on all these topics. Then comes DAX. So I got probably 2 or 3 questions from DAX, but yeah, make sure that you know about calculate function, then all function, all selected functions, then different time intelligence functions like date add, dates between, then parallel period, same period last year, etc. Then you should understand how maxx works, how sumx, maxx, all these functions work. So make sure that you have a good understanding on different types of DAX functions. After that, visualize and analyze the data. So I got so many questions from this part actually. Of course, you have to go through all the visualizations thoroughly, but again, there are 3 to 4 visualizations like key influencers, line chart, scatter chart, then KPI, smart narrative. These are also very important. So I got a good number of questions from this visualization. So make sure that you go through this, the properties of these visualizations thoroughly. And then another very important point is conditional formatting. Conditional formatting is very important. As I mentioned earlier, you should be aware of the steps that you need to follow to implement conditional formatting. So make sure that you learn conditional formatting well. Then slicing and filtering, another important point. Customize a theme. So these are also very important points that you should focus on. Then comes enhanced report. So yeah, bookmarks is also another important thing. Then edit and configure interactions between visuals. This is also another very important point. I remember I got few questions from edit and configure interactions between visuals. And then applying sort to visuals, configure sync slicers. These are also very important. After that, yeah, go through this one, use reference lines, error bars, and forecasting, detect outliers and anomalies. This is also very important point you should learn. Then use the analyze feature in Power BI, another important point you should be aware of. Then the last point is create and manage workspaces and assets. So here actually all these points are very important, especially this configure subscriptions and data alerts, then create dashboards, publish, import, update items in workspace, identify when a gateway is required, configure a semantic model, schedule refresh. So these all are very important points. So it is very difficult to choose, but I would suggest you to prepare all these points well. And the last one is yes, assign workspace roles, implement row level security roles, very important. Apply sensitivity labels, another important point which you should be aware of. Configure item level access, yeah, this is also another important thing. See, most of the points are very important, but out of those I have tried to highlight those points from where I have got a good number of questions. I hope that you have taken a note of the key areas that I have highlighted where you have to focus on when you start preparing. Visit this learn.microsoft.com, this website. You have to create your account, and then you go to, basically if you come here and if you go to discover, then you will see this training options, you will see the credentials, you will see the documentation, everything you will find over here. For registration, you have to go to credentials, and there you will see this Microsoft certification option. So you go to browse certificates, and here you will see all the certifications that are available. You filter for Power BI and you select Power BI, and you will get these two options. You have to go for this Power BI Data Analyst Associate. So this is the page. So again, if you go for prepare the exam, again you will see so many courses are available. You can definitely leverage this. Then you can also leverage this practice for the exam, so you can take this practice assessment. So there will be around 50 questions. So basically you will get some ideas about the kind of questions you might face during your exam. And through the schedule exam link, you have to basically enter all your details, and you need to schedule the slot, and you need to make the payment. So let me explain the process that you have to go through if you are planning to take the exam from home. So after registering for the exam, you will receive a confirmation email from Microsoft containing two important links. So the first link is obviously for the exam itself, and the other link is for exam preparation. So make sure to access the preparation link a day before the exam. So this will basically guide you through a series of checks on your laptop or your computer to ensure your audio, video, and other systems are functioning properly. So basically it will ensure that there should not be any disruption during your exam. And this test run takes approximately 10 minutes to complete. And one more thing, if you need to reschedule or cancel your exam, make sure to do it at least by 24 hours before the scheduled time. On the day of the exam, make sure to access the exam link at least 30 minutes before the scheduled start time. Again, another round of quick check will be performed on your laptop or computer during this process. And you will need to submit several photos like your government issued ID, a selfie, and make sure that the background should be white, and a few pictures of your test space. Now your test space is also another important thing that you should take care of. So basically it should consist of just a desk and a chair and your system. That's it, nothing else. There should not be any other object surrounding your test space. Okay, and it's very crucial to remember that no one else should be present during the exam, and there should not be any noise or anything. Before the exam, you will receive a link on your mobile through message to upload these photos. And once they are submitted, the proctor, again in my case the proctor asked me to use my webcam and to show the test space thoroughly, like scanning from top to bottom and left to right, etc., just to ensure that it meets the requirements. Once you complete the exam, your score will be displayed immediately on the screen, and additionally within 5 to 10 minutes you will receive the confirmation email from Microsoft. And you have to basically again log into the Microsoft portal, go to credential, and from there you can download the certificate directly. Well, that's pretty much for today's video. I will also share all the links that I have presented in the description box for your reference. And I'm also planning to create another video with some sample questions that you can use to enhance your preparation. So stay tuned, and do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.